A very warm welcome to all of you. Uh, Today is an important day nationally, and I'm talking about panchayat polls. And I'm talking about panchayat polls in context of West Bengal. Why are panchayat polls so important in West Bengal? A lot of people outside West Bengal would say that you have panchayat polls in Madhya Pradesh, panchayat polls in Rajasthan, you have panchayat polls in Uttar Pradesh, you have panchayat polls in other parts of India. Where candidates win, panchayat polls in rest of India are about local relationship of power. So the parties are not that important. But why are panchayat polls in West Bengal assumed so much of importance? Today on News9, I'll be joined by a senior editor and our colleagues on this issue of violence in West Bengal Panchayat poll, that's one. Structural reasons, that's two. And third, its impact on national politics. A very warm welcome to you, Anirban from Calcutta. Uh, a very warm welcome to you, Brijesh and Pankaj, my colleagues. And straight away to you, Anirban. Why are Panchayat polls creating so much of headline nationally? Why are they different from any other Panchayat poll? For to say that, Panchayat poll in Odisha, Panchayat poll in Chhattisgarh. Why are Panchayat polls so different or important in West Bengal?
I guess it's money. I don't know. The Panchayat polls in Bengal has been, showing a very violent streak in the say past 2-3 decades. If we go back to 2003, there were 76 deaths, 16 deaths on the polling day. Today we are also still counting bodies. So what I know, I have been to panchayats covering as a reporter. So one person told me that, and I'll listen to Mamata Banerjee later, follow her instructions later. Let me first get hold of the panchayat first. Let me grab the seat. Let me grab the GP first. Then we'll, because it's money, crores of money. And if you see the wealth of these panchayat leaders, the the so-called rich people staying in in the so-called elite enclosures in the cities, they'll feel ashamed. So it's basically money, and basically the essence of grabbing a panchayat means you are protecting yourself, protecting your land, and of course earning some money. But I really don't know Karthik and the others. Why? Because even in Odisha it means money. Even in because we've seen in UP, 10 days of different kinds of not a single case of death. 10 days it went on in UP, and which UP being notorious for all kinds of violent incidents in the past involving polls. So here it's money and grabbing the power and keeping it somehow. And it will, of course, lawlessness at the grassroots level. And I feel at this point of time, there is total lawlessness at the grassroots level because Trinamool, which really had a lot of stronghold in all the villages in Bengal, the central leadership, even Mamata Banerjee, and they might issue all kinds of instructions and assurances that the panchayat polls will be free, fair, and without violence. Nobody is listening to them. They just want to grab power and earn some money. I think I can't go
Anirban,
beyond that.
Panchayat is about power, but why so much of violence? What explains this unique nature of intense violence?
I guess Kartikan, if you see the 2018 panchayat elections, where the Trinamool Congress almost snatched almost every other seat. Here, I guess there is some kind of resistance happening at the grassroots levels, and if you see out of the 15 deaths, and as we talk, I don't some other body may have fallen. I mean, every hour there is one person being killed. Out of the 15 killed so far, 9 are Trinamool Congress activists. That can indicate one in one direction that there might be some kind of resistance, and like 2018, the opposition political party, because most of the deaths have happened in Murshidabad, 6, where Congress is a very important dominant factor, led by, of course, Adit Chaudhary. where there is a lot of resistance. Trinamool just can't go to a polling booth and just grab it. So people are resisting it, and even in many cases, the Trinamool Congress workers are getting beaten up. So that is one indication that the resistance is resulting in violence and clashes. No one would want to, give Trinamool, the ruling party, a free hand and just, take the Gram Panchayat seat or the other seats. I think that is one of the reasons. And as we go along with the discussion, there are other factors also. So I
Okay,
don't want to take
okay.
that right.
Brijesh, you tell me, is it because of Bharatiya Janata Party's aggressive campaign? Because something remains the same. You had left in the Congress, now you had left Congress and TMC. The sort of interaction between the party in power and the party outside power, the dynamics remain the same. It's just the people in the face change.
Well, yes, I completely agree with you. And as you know, Anirban was saying that this is not the first time violence has happened, and violence is a staple diet as far as panchayat elections in West Bengal is concerned. We have seen how any party which is the ruling party, how they have an upper hand as far as these panchayat polls are concerned, which is very important because they are like the nuts and bolts. As Anirban was saying that you get a lot of money, you also get a stranglehold at the grassroots level and ensuring that that there's a free flow of power right from the top till the bottom. But the kind of bloody elections which we are seeing, several people have died, and incidents of violence. Many running away with the ballot box. There are visuals of people putting ballot box on fire. I think there's a lot of prestige at stake as well, Karthikeya, if I may say so, because Mamata Banerjee, whose reign has been uninterrupted. She's finished off the Congress. She's finished off the what is left of the left, and BJP for a change in 2019 got 18 seats. That was very surprising. I think most of the BJP walas were themselves must have been stunned to see the number of seats, and that is the reason why Karthikeya in the assembly election after that, there was a massive push by the BJP, right from Prime Minister to Amit Shah to everybody. So West Bengal right now, Karthikeya, is one of the key challenge. It's a challenge it's a territory which has to be acquired by the BJP, and there's a massive push and pushback which is going on, and that is the reason why if you are on social media, if you're on Twitter, Facebook, and various WhatsApp groups, it's a ball by ball commentary, if I may say so, which is coming on, and with visuals, Karthike, which is like a film where we used to see, that there is a Don and he would not allow anybody to vote, or like his chelas will run away with the ballot box, throw crude bombs and all. All of it is at ample display as far as West Bengal is concerned. Karthike?
Pankaj, your opening comment.
Well, Karthikeya, I would say I have grown up living in the vicinity of this state of West Bengal. And trust me, by the time I could sense what elections are, I could get an idea how the electorate functions and how the system works. West Bengal has had a notorious name, be it the panchayat elections, what we are witnessing now, or for that matter, state elections as well. But not as I mentioned, in the neighborhood, Bihar is where I come from, and that particular state was also giving equal challenge to West Bengal. So when you ask me about my opening comments, I couldn't help but mention that Bihar has improved a lot these days. When
Correct.
we go back and we talk in terms of uh,
Correct.
vikas kitna hua hai, that's a different thing. But when we talk about these post poll or pre poll violence or the poll day violence, I think Bihar has managed to curb it. Either you give the credit to the central forces, to the center, to election commission, or to the ruling state party, but yes, peace and sanity has prevailed in Bihar. But this curious case of West Bengal is surprising, and we know that West Bengal, as the Bangla central ecosystem that is there. Very sensitive people, very politically active people. The electorate is also pretty much aware of what's going on, what's not. But to see such kind of violence, crude bombs being hurled, arson on the streets, people running away with the ballot papers, ballot boxes, and then putting them on fire. All this is, right outside, a
Pankaj,
movie.
this reminds me of the way elections were held in Bihar for Vidhan Sabha Munger, Lakhisarai,
Exactly. Yes,
Buxar.
yes, yes.
And the
Which are
TV channels would make programs like Bahubali Logo Ki Duniya.
absolutely, I agree. And unfortunately,
And
now West Bengal
Munger still
gun
supplies
factories.
arms and ammunition to Bengal, but
Yes.
Munger has now become a peaceful place. But I'll
Yes.
tell you, Pankaj, one thing.
Mhm.
I mean, keeping aside all over the Bengali intelligentsia, the all kinds of cerebral things we talk about in Bengal about ourselves, Bengal historically has shown a very violent streak throughout. 1905, the partition happens. 1907, the armed rebellion starts from Bengal. You mentioned the Naxalite movement. You mentioned the Tebhaga movement. You mentioned the Greater Calcutta killings. All happened in Bengal. So Bengal is, apart from all their intellectual abilities and their claims of being the super intellectuals of the world, they have been very violent. And in the Bangladesh war, they are also Bengalis, isn't it? The Mukti Jodhas, they had fought a very violent battle. So I
The
guess in our
revolutionary
days,
background, are you talking about the revolutionary background percolating in a, not a revolutionary way, but in a,
they've taken to arms time, and historically it is, but in their on in our DNA, we want to prefer to become intellectuals, but something is there in that blood which has a violent streak. Otherwise, as Pankaj was saying, UP and Bihar, two notorious places, and we would see gunmen with all kinds of bahubalis, moving in jeeps. It's vanished. But what's happened to Bengal? Then it's still, carrying with the legacy of the violent politics of polls.
yes, Pankaj, you were saying, before, I think the Mughir interrupted your stream of thought.
I'm sorry. I'm
Right.
sorry.
No, no, that was a valuable contribution. See, I mean, for the benefit of our viewers, let me just say, when we began this program, the latest information that we had was that 10 deaths have happened. Now, when Anirban Dada started his commentary, it became 15. So, as Brajesh also mentioned, it's like a ball by ball cricket commentary where things are changing every minute. And this only adds to the fact that by the time reports could reach us to far, central part of Delhi, in Delhi, the toll goes up. So this basically shows the intensity with which the violence is happening. Now, to add to the reasoning that why would people kill each other in the name of panchayat polls, I'm sure that many of our esteemed viewers wouldn't attach that much importance or sentiments to a panchayat poll. But panchayat polls are very crucial with two aspects. The first one is to have a stronghold. If you have your party, your power, if you are in power in the state, you would want to have the grip on the panchayat because that are the basic level of a governance system in mandated in our governance of the country of the state. Now, second part is we are approaching 2024 elections, and TMC knows that they are up against a BJP. What BJP did from last to last time, they had 3 seats. This time around, they had 18 seats in state elections. So TMC knows that BJP is working. The modus operandi of BJP is to work at the very grassroots levels, and these are the panchayats where the BJP has been working hard. Now, for TMC or Mamata Banerjee, it's a tough challenge to actually, ward them off to their increasing control over these particular elections, because again these would be the people who would be voting in 2024, and that could not augur well maybe for the TMC.
Okay, but Brijesh, is it also a fact that certain strand of the political engagement has become irrelevant, and another strand of political engagement has become stronger, which is BJP has become a force replacing cadres of both the Congress and CPM vis-a-vis TMC. So it represents, the violence is representing the shift at a very microcosm, which is panchayat.
Kartike, one very interesting thing was that, when BJP became a power to reckon with in the state of Bengal, there were many who said that, this is because of Mamata. She finished off both Congress and the left to a level where, it created a political opposition vacuum, and that got naturally transferred to the BJP. And I think, the BJP, ever since it has tasted success, And post 2014, when Prime Minister has been on a political expansion, perhaps one of the biggest political expansion the BJP has seen successfully. The BJP feels that come what may, it has to have a big presence as far as the West Bengal is concerned. And this is an important election, Kartikeya. And after this, there is election in 2024. The literal karo ya maro for the BJP, and this is the reason why the BJP is giving it all it has. Be it complaining to the election commission, the governor, which is usually we never heard of Anandiben Patel in the state of Uttar Pradesh, but I think 90% of the people in this country would know of who the governor in Tamil Nadu is and who the governor is in West Bengal is. The governor going out, the election commission, the central forces. There's so many things that are working right now, which Kartikeya clearly demonstrate the kind of importance this election has for the BJP. People say that that Mamata Banerjee wants to win this election a big way, and before she goes to the Shimla convention, where her presence as a very strong regional power player remains intact, and the BJP wants to dent this at all costs, because if they are able to dent this, then they would approach the 2024 general election with a buoyancy in their step. So there's a lot of at stake, and this is the reason why and Anirbandha very wisely said that that there are also resistance which is on the ground, because people feel that BJP, though BJP's conduct post assembly election was left a lot to be to be talked about. When the cadre felt often, it was like abandonment of the cadre. But now they also realize that with BJP we have an absolute majority of the center. The party can actually exert back its authority, or the cadre can give a fight back, because you may not have a state police, but you can have a central force. And that is the reason why majority of the people, be it Subhendu Adhikari or most of these BJP leaders in West Bengal, they have a CRPF security, because there is not much trust as far as the local state police is concerned. So both sides are locked in a fierce battle to win this battle of the ground, and this is the reason why between this resistance and a massive push by by Mamata Banerjee to make sure that she wins this election big at all costs is what is causing mayhem on the ground. And it's like the kind of violence we are seeing, the crude bombs, the Sutli bombs, the country-made weapon and all, everything is a full display as far as Panchayat election in West Bengal is concerned. Kartikeya?
59,000 troops have been deployed. 59,000.
This speaks volumes about the
मतलब सवाल तो
importance
ऐसा
of
बनता है, अनिर्बंधा, इतना तो लोकसभा में वायलेंस नहीं होता जितना वायलेंस हो गया, और इतना ट्रूप का डिप्लॉयमेंट पंचायत इलेक्शंस में. I mean, say, look at the number of troops which have been deployed.
I think that's also falling inadequate for the kind of violence that's happening. And what happened, we have 63,000 plus booths in West Bengal. So the figure you mentioned is not enough for manning those 63,000 booths. And the central forces, they said day before yesterday, come what may, we are not standing alone in the booths. We need at least 2 of our colleagues with us.
Okay.
So the many of the booths now today are not having central forces. It's been now manned by the state police, and there have been some forces deployed from nearby Bihar and Odisha. So the whatever may be the case, the numbers speak volumes, not of the troop size, but of the volumes of what's happening in Bengal. And as Brijesh rightly pointed out, the stakes are so high for both the political parties. BJP, there are 42 seats. The BJP now has 18. Amit Shah, the headmaster, came and gave them the task of grabbing at least 35 seats. That's nearly impossible, but the expectation of the central leadership is that you need to increase the tally of 18 to at least 25. So getting the 25, as we are discussing very rightly, the access and the control of the ground level bodies, that's become mandatory. That's become very important. So this panchayat, grabbing seats and holding on to or resting seats has become very important for both BJP and TMC. This high strung, had there been no 2024 elections, the situation would have been better, I guess. But this 2024 elections, BJP is desperate, and Trinamool's desperate to not to lose further ground to BJP. 18 seats gone
So
from the
base,
tally
are
of.
you, तो मोटी बात क्या है? लड़ाई किसके बीच में है?
Come again, please. That's what was got
लड़ाई
broken.
किसके बीच में है? मोटी बात. Action कहाँ है?
BJP versus TMC in most of the places, but in as I said, in Murshidabad and Malda, which are two, Malda being ABA Ghani Khan Chaudhary's hometown, those two places are Congress bastions. There, TMC people are getting a beating, but at the ground level, as I mentioned earlier, there is a resistance, and not for the comfort of the BJP, there might be some kind of a resurgence because the Congress and the.
Anirban, you said Malda and you said Ganikan Chaudhary's bastion. Tell me if I'm not wrong, Mausam Noor, I think, shifted her loyalty to any party अच्छा कर रही है despite Mausam shifting out. Noor.
No, that's true. Malda is now a Trinamool stronghold.
Okay.
Stronghold that in terms of seats, but it has got a strong legacy of the Congress.
Okay.
People ruling, and all the MLAs were from Congress, and even during the left-front regime, Malda was one of the places where the Congress used to back most of the seats. So that, but in other places, it's BJP.
In North India, if you discuss Malda, first thing people will say Malda Aam.
Malda is famous for.
किसी की याद नहीं आएगी ना मौसम नूर, गनी खान चौधरी, कांग्रेस, टीएमसी. दिल्ली आएगी उससे मालदा बोलेंगे आम तो आया नहीं भी मालदा से.
Malda arms, the mangoes go to Narendra Modi, Sheikh Hasina from Mamata Banerjee. So every mango season, and Narendra Modi gets good.
So Karthikeyan, you have to stand in queue to get them, huh?
I heard they're not as good as the Sheri, Anirbanda.
Malda arms, they have got several varieties. I am no expert on mangoes, but the some of the varieties are, which is called, one variety is called Langra, which is very tasty, which has got a very God scent and things like that. There are a lot of. So Malda will the Malda mangoes are giving a lot of trouble to Mamata.
मैं मालदा पे लड़ना नहीं चाह रहा. Anyway, there's a lot of fight going on in West Bengal all over the polls.
Yeah,
I don't want
Malda
to create a mango
Congress
fight here.
Yeah, Malda and Murshidabad will give some trouble too. But interestingly, though the entire battle throughout West Bengal is being fought between the Trinamool Congress and BJP, there is some kind of, I cannot prove it by numbers, some kind of resurgence of the left in certain pockets of their earlier strongholds like Bardhaman. Now it's split into two halves: Bardhaman, Purulia, Bankura, which have now been taken over by either whether TMC or the BJP. There is, and of course, there's a resurgence of the BJP.
That's a very interesting thing you are saying. Why are you saying that there's a resurgence of left in Bardhaman, Purulia? Why?
Because the left is visible. Left is visible. They are holding positions. Because if you ask me, Anirban, that is where are the seats? How many councillors do they have? How many MLA seats? 0. Councillors here and there, bits and pieces. But you can see the presence of left earlier. 30 years back, every village had a left front CPM or forward bloc flag in each village. There was a party office. A small hut was a party office. It's all vanished. But we can see those things coming back. I'll tell you why. In last year, December 16th, Amit Shah came to Kolkata, and he specifically warned the BJP leaders that take note of the left boss. Whatever votes we have got, it's not BJP vote. It's all the anti-Mamata vote, which used to go to the CPM, has not mostly gone to the BJP. So take note of. And now, in the past 2-3 months, during the campaigns, Shubhendu Adhikari particularly, he has been now blasting the CPM, which they were in a silent mum about CPM. They started taking note of the left. And Shubhendu Adhikari says that why only Trinamool Congress corruption? Let us also bring the 34 years ka misrule ka and the corruption ka, all the things should come forward. So, electorally, I have nothing to prove concretely to you that there is some kind of resurgence, we can use the word, but we can see the presence of left slowly gaining ground in different parts of Bengal.
Okay, okay. You have used certain words. Like when you use Malda, when you use Purlia, like a 80s child. The Purlia arms drop case.
Arms
Just
dropping
flashed.
case.
Flashed in front of my eyes. These are the names I have grown up reading about in magazine and those non-TV days. Vijay, tell me, will BJP able to maintain the tempo in 24?
Well, Karthikeya, BJP is facing a very strange kind of scenario in West Bengal. In 2019 they won 18 seats, and that was that shook everybody, because the BJP, as usual, going by their very strongly worded statements and all, they said that we are going to win all 42. They won 2018, and that came as a shock to many observers. And BJP thought that it will translate 2019 into the elections in 2021, and they gave it their best. They saw Mukul Roy being shifting to BJP, Shubhendu Adhikari getting in, and many people joining in and all. And many people from Delhi. The reason I can say this, many people from Delhi, is because I was severely criticized for saying that it doesn't look like that the BJP will approach anywhere the tally of 200 or what they were saying. Karthikeya, there were many who believed that BJP is going to repeat 2019 and 2021, but it did not happen. Mamata Banerjee gave a crushing blow to the BJP, and ever since, the party, it has not been quite all right, if I may say so, as far as, and it's not a well-oiled machinery as BJP is you are used to see in the state of Uttar Pradesh, in state of Bihar, or any other places. And the reason is because many people felt that there was BJP West Bengal was divided into various groups. Mukul Roy went back to TMC. Many people were not happy with the leadership of Shubhendu Adhikari. They felt that that we will not report. So BJP was facing something which is alien to their culture in West Bengal, which is intense factionalism. And they were not, the factionalism was not willing to listen to the diktats of the top, which is very, very rare as far as BJP is concerned. And that is the reason why post 2021, Karthikeya, for a good 3-4 months, the feeling was among the BJP cadres in West Bengal was that they have been orphaned, that they have been left like at their own mercy. The Trinamool guys were having a free go at them, and nobody was there to protect it. Now the Congress, the BJP has started getting its house in order. They again, giving that pushback and all. But I think, when you talk of opposition unity, Karthikeya, and many people, when you start using the term arithmetic and all, many people start saying, "Arey, aisa kaise hoga?" And oh, you guys are living in fool's paradise. But trust me, Karthikeya, there are certain citadels where if the ruling, which is the reigning regional Kshatrap, if they take back what BJP has encroached into, trust me, the party would be in trouble. And one such state is West Bengal. If Mamata Banerjee is able to repeat 2021 and 24, it will be loss of at least 10 more seats minimum for the BJP. And that is a scenario which scares the BJP. That is why you see that, when it comes to Bihar, where BJP stands to lose most, when it comes to the state of Maharashtra, but to lose most, by that I mean that there's a potential to lose if the opposition gets together. And that is the reason why, the BJP is trying their level best to regroup it. But, there's a lot of work left for them if they really want to take on Mamata Banerjee the way they did in 2019. And this is the reason why, when you are discussing Bengal Panchayat polls, the fight back, the push by the central forces and all is so much in full display. Karthikeya?
I think this is also a matter of pride for Mamata Banerjee, isn't it, Pankaj? Because if you look at Mamata's ambition and what she did in 2.5 years, she could not expand in Goa. That Adani photograph and the money which was spent there, and people used to say कि गोवा में ऐसा लगता है केवल ममता बनर्जी चुनाव लड़नी. It came a cropper. If you look at the way Mamata Banerjee fought election in Northeast, she actually lost Bengali-dominated Northeast seats. People don't understand there are parts of Assam which are very heavily Bengali-dominated. And there are parts in Nagaland, there are parts in Meghalaya, there are parts in... And Tripura, to alagi baat hai. Bengalis play an important role. You had a Bengali as a chief minister of Jharkhand. in
Hmm.
2014. Even the left in Tripura was Bengali dominated, but she was not able to harness the northeast Bengali diaspora. It went to Bharatiya Janata Party. ये बैस्टन की लड़ाई हो गई नहीं ना, ये बैस्टन की लड़ाई
बिल्कुल
हो गई, यही बचा है.
बिल्कुल यही this bastion at any cost has to be retained and fought for, because you're right, Kartike, when you mention there are three aspects to it. One is West Bengal, the bastion. The other is rest of the northern and the central part of the country, and the third one is the northeast. Northeast, yes, TMC has the presence, but yes, as you mentioned, in Assam, even with the recent delimitation proposal of the election commission in Assam, TMC and AIUDF are the most vocal opposers. So much so they are the biggest opposition parties also. Contributing to the
पंकज, डोंट गेट वरीड.
opposition to the.
यू नो ऐसी कोई चिंता की बात नहीं है. चिल्ड्रन इन द हाउस ऑफ द राइट टू फोटो ऑफ एनीथिंग इंपॉर्टेंट, उसमें कोई चिंता
Well,
की बात नहीं है. वी आर ऑल
since
ह्यूमंस.
it's a
कोई
Saturday,
परेशान मत
they
होइए
have
कि
their
पीछे से
holiday.
बच्चा झांक के जा रहा है. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल कोई परेशान
Lovely.
होने की बात
So
नहीं है.
yes,
इट्स देयर राइट.
well, these are the perils of a live broadcast. But yes,
दैट्स द ब्यूटी
Kartikeya,
ऑफ
as I
लाइफ
was.
बॉस. पेरिल क्या, दैट्स द ब्यूटी ऑफ लाइफ.
Yeah, so I was saying that yes, for Mamata Banerjee, defending West Bengal at any cost, and no matter even if it boils down to the grassroots level of panchayat politics, because see, I mean, she also has to project herself as a leader. If we talk about the bigger picture of opposition unity, she has to have her value, at least in the echelons of an Arvind Kejriwal or a South top leader. So she has to have that value, and for that she has to retain the grip over West Bengal. Now, talking about Mamata Banerjee's own ambitions and the way she rose, as Arinba was mentioning, it was not long ago, Kartikeya, that every taluka, every nook and corner of the state, West Bengal, had the presence of the left parties, and they are still relevant. I will come to that point, that why left and Congress are still in play there. But the thing is, Mamata Banerjee, during a protest, had actually faced the lathis of the police wallas and had a broken skull also. So she has paid the price for it. She knows what is at stake, and she will go tooth and nail, hammer and tongs, to actually defend it. For her, control over Bengal is the only key to rest of the country. If at all she has to project herself as a national leader, if at all she has to project TMC, or think of TMC as a national party in the years to come. So for, yes, Mamata Banerjee, it's a battle of pride also, and the kind of relations we have seen Mamata Banerjee and Mamata Banerjee and Prime Minister. Obviously, she also has points to prove, and that's why BJP is something that she would be fighting against. But yes, it's not just BJP, Congress and the left too are the reasons of worry for Mamata Banerjee as of now in West Bengal.
Anirban, do you think that any result which is adverse to Mamta in Panchayat can have a bearing on Lok Sabha, or Panchayat and Lok Sabha will be two different ball games?
I mean, ideally, yes. But Mamta, I have, a very different, view of her compared to the other politicians. As we all know, the 2019 elections, it was a big blow to her. And till December 2020, January 2021, even, February, I was convinced that, and my colleagues were convinced, that BJP is certainly coming back to power. But suddenly the tables started, turning, and and there was some, you can call it the broken, food the Mamata Banerjee displayed in all the, that might be a sympathy way, but this value of this picture of Mamata Banerjee, I have traveled with her in many of the places with her. The way the women react to her, the way interact, because women are very important. And Mamata Banerjee's this 500 rupees Lakshmika Bhandar, which is a perfect example of dual politics, has been a super hit. All the women are,
Will it be
even
correct to say, Anirbandha, that after Jayalalitha, in context of state politicians, Mamta is the only other state politician who has been able to consolidate women as a constituency?
absolutely yes, absolutely yes. I'll tell you, because there are these maids who come to our houses in isolation, live in housing complexes. All of them are having this Lakshmi ka Bhandar, and I tell you, this 500 rupees for women who did not earn anything. भाई दूज के लिए उस खुद का भाई को देने के लिए they had to borrow money from somebody else, or भीख मांगता था from the husband. This 500 rupees is a symbol of empowerment, and for a person who did not earn anything ever in her life. Now what has happened? Now the BJP has realized it, and now just a week back before the elections, Shubhendu Adhikari has announced a dole of 2,000 rupees. So now they have realized that this 500 is a game changer, and it'll paying huge political dividends to Mamata Banerjee. Now that's called the Lakshmi Bhandar. Now Shubhendu Adhikari and BJP, now they want to launch the Annapurna Bhandar when they come back to power. So as you correctly said, Karthik, and I think this women constituency has been well attended by Mamata Banerjee, and she is very focused. She's a very, she's a very shrewd politician. She knows how to play the game. I'll tell you, if I'm not, talking too much. And once I was traveling,
talking too much. बस यह हो रहा है कि दिल्ली में कलकत्ता वाली बारिश हो रही है. ऐसा लग रहा है कि बादल अभी फट के गिर पड़ेंगे.
Pankaj was saying that just before the show.
We had a chat about this. लेकिन कलकत्ता में लगता है बंगाल में किसी और तरह के बादल फट रहे हैं अभी. बताइए.
But there is too much of heat and too much of showering of bullets and bombs right now. So I'll tell you, I've traveled with Mamata Banerjee in helicopters, attending 4 or 5 meetings. 4 or 5 meetings having different kinds of composition. One is a minority dominated, one is a scheduled tribe. So in 4 different places, she's giving 4 kinds of speech, and she's giving a speech where the women are blowing the conscience, and then they're shouting Mamata, and in a minority dominated DSC, she's talking all kinds of minority benefits to that. So she is by her DNA, she's a politician starting from dawn until she sleeps. So that way she has realized that the importance of the women folk and the importance of women as her constituency, as her voters base, and she will do that to go to any extent.
Okay. Dada, very few people understand that the West Bengal is also a long state. If the northern part actually touches Himalayas and down to Bay of Bengal. In terms of Mamata's hegemony, is it there uniform across North to South Bengal today?
No. North Bengal is very difficult. I'll tell you, the North Bengal till Murshidabad upwards, beyond Farakka is the North Bengal zone starting. Malda, Dinajpur, Darjeeling, Kuch Bihar, Alipurduar, Jalpaiguri, Kuch Bihar, it's gone for Trinamool Congress. It has got 52 seats, and the BJP has made furious inroads into
the tea gardens.
Tea gardens and the Adivasi community, because it's dominated by Adivashis, Rajvanshis, all kinds of tribal ST and SC dominated people. So it's gone. But Mamata Banerjee is trying to revive.
Is this the same part where the royal state of Kuch Bihar used to be there?
Absolutely.
From where Gayatri Devi got married to the Gharana of Jaipur?
Yeah, they have this beautiful palace still in place there.
Okay.
And Darjeeling is gone, as you know. Darjeeling has remained troubled before she came to power, and it's still now, she managed for 2-3 years, she managed it with all kinds of GTA, Bimal Gurung, and, managing Bimal Gurung. Now Bimal Gurung has become a rebel. And, it's whoever launches the Gorkhaland agitation ka slogan, he's going to win. And BJP is in story. So till Darjeeling, from Darjeeling till Malda, it's a very sorry state of affairs.
Are you saying that the Gorkhaland issue is still alive?
Absolutely. Because center wouldn't agree to Gorkhaland, Mamata Banerjee wouldn't agree, but everybody, try to support that, okay, Gorkhaland is not there, but, I'm with you till you get Gorkhaland. So those kinds of very ambiguous stances are maintained. Another worry before you go to that, we can discuss maybe some other day, the minority votes. Minority is now becoming a major headache. I'll tell you, in March this year, there was a bypoll in Shagor which is in Murshidabad district. Murshidabad, as we know, it's a hugely minority dominated. In Shagor there's 60% of Muslim voters, and Mamata Banerjee lost. The Congress won, unfortunately, or fortunately for Mamata Banerjee, he switched over to Trinamool Congress. But that was a very important indicator that all Muslim votes may not be good for Mamata Banerjee anymore. So she has to attend to that particular zone also.
I think that's a tectonic shift, isn't it, Brijesh? If we are saying that not all Muslim votes are going to Mamta, ये तो चिंता की बात है.
No, no, Anirban is not saying that all votes is going of minority votes going against Mamta, but yes, the election. The
No, I'm just saying if all votes are not going to Mamta. I was saying that.
Okay, so I'm just saying that is definitely a cause for concern, and I think Mamata Banerjee has already taken certain measures to arrest that slide away from him. You remember Asaduddin Owaisi, the role of Asaduddin Owaisi, how when he went to Bihar and fought election there, Kartikeya, he damaged the prospects of RJD and JDU. But the same gentleman, when he went to West Bengal, he had to beat a hasty retreat, because there the Muslims thought that if they are able to, if they divide their votes, then chances of them being dumped into Bay of Bengal rises by at least 100%. And that is the reason why there was a massive mobilization of minority behind Mamata Banerjee. That was definitely a rude awakening call for Mamata Banerjee, and they are taking measures to arrest their slide. That is there. And for Mamata Banerjee, the biggest challenge would be now, after winning the state handsomely, there's also a lot of enforcement directorate pressure, the CBI pressure and all. And Kartikeya, I've been saying that, more than ideology, more than power, more than many things, it is the fear of being behind bars for six months that will ultimately land or force all the opposition parties of consequence to come together. And I think, going by the fact that, Abhishek Banerjee is facing some questioning, his wife is facing some questioning, Anubrat Mandal already behind bars for a while now. The TMC is also facing the heat of ED. So for Mamata Banerjee, this becomes all the more challenging for her to win as many Lok Sabha seats as possible. Because, if they are able to, theoretically, if they are able to defeat BJP or not let BJP win more than 4-5 seats, I think she would have done a job of denting BJP and helping the opposition parties to get together. But there are many a slip between the cup and the lip, and we'll have to see how it pans out in the future. But trust me, Kartikeya, ED and CBI is going to be the biggest unifier, much more than ideology or anybody's desire to win and become the prime minister.
Pankaj, before I start closing in our conversation, don't you think that this West Bengal Panchayat poll will also decide the mood for Mamata Banerjee? Mamata Banerjee has shown a lot of interest in the way centre's politics can, or what centre's politics should look around. She has a strong position vis-a-vis Bharatiya Janata Party. So any dampener here won't make her inward looking. Will
Yes,
the adverse result can have that impact, or am I just being sweeping in my statement? You can disagree.
See, I mean, Mamata Banerjee has made it clear time and again the pointers at which she differs with the center, especially with Prime Minister Modi. But with these elections, I would say she would want to have one less headache when it comes to her own territory, to her own bastion. It always helps to have your presence, stronghold to the last level of the electorate that you can think of. Speaking of which, obviously, the bigger role that we are talking about here for Mamata Banerjee or for the general politics in the run-up to 2024, I think Mamata Banerjee wouldn't want to be a fence-sitter, would want to be a person who has a say when situation arrives. And for her to do that, obviously, her presence at the national stage, even as a regional party, and her presence in the matters concerning a unified opposition against the BJP is also very important, because what we have seen with the NCP, what we are hearing of the possibilities of another Sharad Pawar style politics happening in Bihar, possibly. All those things are not, auguring very well for this unified opposition as of now. And they have barely started finding their feet, putting the boxes together. And lo and
Okay.
behold, we have situations like these. So yes, Mamata Banerjee, I think, has all the reasons to, keep her guards up against the BJP.
Anirban, one thing is very clear that Mamata Banerjee is not part of the scheme when it comes to the Congress party. I think Rahul Gandhi and Congress have decided to go with the left party. ये बहुत clear है. तो जो भी Congress led alliance होगा उसमें left will play an important role, and people uh, I wouldn't say forget, because it's way back in history. It's like 67, 77, 87, 1907, 2000, 2007, 2023. More than 56 years ago, Rahul's grandmother forged a close working relationship with the left party. And it was because of the left that Indira Gandhi's government in 67 survived. And when Raj Gopalachari, Swatantra Party, Madhu Dandavade, George Fernandez, they were all after Indira Gandhi's life. It was actually left parties that were bailing Indira Gandhi in Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. So I think this forging of relationship was taken up by daughter-in-law Sonia Gandhi in 2004. And Rahul Gandhi has come back to it after the rupture happened in 2008 because of the hard faction, which differed from Sitaram Yechuri today. And on the nuclear deal, the Karat faction went out. So that is very clear. So Mamta cannot be part of that grid. So in future, in context of today's elections and future politics, where do you see Mamta standing? What sort of a future do you see for Mamta? A powerful state leader who is also a kingmaker.
Look, 5 years back, I would have seen Mamata Banerjee, hoping to become the principal contender for the prime minister's post. But I think as days have passed and as we discussed her experiments in Goa, in Meghalaya and other states, Tripura, I think she has understood that, doing that, she is not really becoming a national leader anymore. And Kejriwal has, stolen the limelight more than her. And I think now she's not said that, but she is the way she's, almost accepted Nitish Kumar being the principal face in organizing this. She is, otherwise, knowing her, she would have always wanted Mamata Banerjee calling the meeting, not Mamata Banerjee going to Nitish Kumar called meeting. So I think she has accepted the fact she's not the principal contender. It's better to preserve West Bengal and get as many seats in West Bengal and be the kingmaker or the principal decision maker, if at all. That's very a
No,
distant dream for us.
no, no, I know what you're saying. I remember that day I was in Calcutta when Mamata Banerjee called a party meet and decided to withdraw from the UPA. And how it changed the politics, made Manmohan Singh government very, very vulnerable, and created a different space for Bharatiya Janata Party. Very few people understand that that was a momentous decision. It created a lot of space for a different sort of a politics, which even Congress and Mamata didn't realize what they were doing at that point of time. But I think Panchayat poll, for in context of West Bengal, are slightly bigger than what we witness in other states. Not in context of their importance or relevance in people's everyday life, but I think in context of Mamata Banerjee, they have become bigger because Mamata has a position vis-a-vis center. And I think, secondly, the violence which happens to, I was going through the data. The official data is already in 2 digits, people who have died because of violence. And you have hundreds of people who have been injured, and all the visuals have come. I don't know where this data will be, today after 8 p.m. But I think that's the sad part of the electoral democracy, because, it's almost like an anarchy at the booth level. But the only good part is that at least it's not that bad. And on that note, I would like to thank you, Anibal, for joining me from Calcutta. And I would like to thank our input editor Brijesh Pandey and Pankaj, who have joined us. And this was a special coverage. And I would just like to tell our viewers that News9 doesn't get off on Saturday and Sunday. It's very much alive and kicking. If you want to go through the lighter content, or you want to see our OTT documentaries, you have the mainstream there, where you have our timeless discussions. If you want to come and meet us, then we are there on our YouTube channel, which is streaming other multiple debates. So we are always there whenever there is a breaking news. So thank you all of you, and thank you to the viewers of
Thank you, Karthikeyan.
to tell them once again, we are on Xiaomi, we are on OnePlus 5, we are on all the Android TV sets from yesterday. You can access on your TV screen. बस Netflix पे या the left हो सकता है या right हो सकता है, आजू बाजू आपको News9 जरूर मिलेगा. Thank you all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.